Next step is to make this housing, and that should be threaded onto the Morse arbor. It's quite simple, it's a 2-inch piece. Just cut it to size, make a hole in it, and then we make the lid, drill some hole and tap. Not complicated at all. So now we will bore this one up to 33 millimeter and then cut the thread inside. Now looking at the drawings, it should be a tapped 4 millimeter hole in the housing, and that is for a grub screw and then a brass slug to protect the threads. So I think I will make this hole before I make the thread and put the brass plug inside there. We just remove the shaft from the lathe and take it to the drill press. And when I remove the shaft, just make this little brass slug from a 4 millimeter brass screw. So now the shaft is back on the lathe, and there you can see the little hole I made with threads in. I didn't thread it all the way through. I left the hole about 3 millimeters from the inside. And now it's time for the last pass. And for the inside threading, I'm going to use this threading tool. It's also a CU one-on. Well, now it's quite close to the correct measurement, so it's maybe time for a test fit. No. Test fit again. See. Yep. Ooh. That's tight. No play at all. I think it will be good with that. Just use the file a little bit to clean it up. So now the little brass slug is removed from the housing, and I don't know if you can see it, but you have the threads in the slug, and that will fit perfectly into the threads, and then you will have a very, very good lock. So the only thing I need to do is cut off the slug from the threads, put the slug in the housing, and then use a grub screw. So now I have changed to boring bar in this tool holder again. Now we should bore this to 1.550, and that's 39.37 in millimeters. .3, so it's 7/100 of a millimeter left. I just clean up the inside and then I take a very, very, very light cut the way out. And now we are just facing off the cover for the housing. So now it's time to correct the thickness and this little edge to fit into the housing, and it seemed to be a quite tight fit. So. Okay, now everything is set up in the mill and centered, so it's time to drill some holes. We need 4 holes in the lid and then 3 millimeters tapped hole for the bolts to hold the lid. And now when I have this set up, I'm going to drill the 4 millimeter hole in the Morse arbor as well. There is not material enough to make a skim cut on this housing. As you can see, there is no material left on the side where the screw is. So that's a little bit sad. Maybe I just take some memory cloth and see what the result will be. And after that we are going to drill a hole using a boring bar to fit the pivot pivot tube that should go inside there. Now let's see if we can manage to get some finish on this part as well. I use a little wet and dry with white spirit on. See if we can get a little bit more shiny. Still a little bit rough. It will not be better than that. There is still some small scratches, but I have to live with that. And then, well, it's a little bit closed, that hole, so that really don't look nice. Maybe I have to build a new one. We'll see. We'll see.